Hey guys, it's John David here, and in this video I just wanted to break down 3 different ways that you could negotiate or either land yourself working remotely as an analyst. So the first way that I see that you can actually get yourself into a remote work environment is to slowly negotiate your way there. So the first way would be negotiating 1 day a week. And you really need to make a case for your manager that, hey, I'm more productive while I'm at home versus when I'm in the office. And then once you have successfully shown that 1 day works well, then you need to keep pushing to 2 days, 3 days, and then hopefully you can get to that point where you don't even have to come in for a full week. And, granted, you may have situations where you will have to come to the office for meetings, but that is probably the safest way to negotiate a remote analyst job, is to have the job that you have now and slowly kind of work your way up to a remote position. I would say the second way to find a remote job is to start applying for remote analytics contracts. So this might be like a 6 to 12 month consulting engagement where they want to bring in someone to analyze their sales and their marketing and their supply chain. If you have expertise in, example, sales or marketing, you can start to apply to these jobs and they might hire you based on your experience level and maybe a portfolio that you've built out. The key here is that they trust that you're an expert. So this might not be a viable option for someone who is just starting out and getting their foot in the analytics space. And I would say the third, and it's the riskiest way to get yourself into a remote analyst job, is to start applying on places like Upwork for very short-term contracts. And then what you can do is start to stack these contracts on top of each other, and hopefully you're able to work 6 months, 12 months, a year, however long you want to, by stacking these contracts on top of each other. The good news is that once you have multiple contracts with multiple companies that you've done work for, they may bring you back on for specific ad hoc analysis reports. So that one is really, really risky on the front end. But once you have multiple organizations that you've done analytics work for, it actually becomes even lower risk than having a full-time job. Because if you have a full-time job and the company, for example, one of my clients recently, they do nothing but in-person sales training. Every single one of their lines of business has been cut off because of the COVID crisis. So now I think they're financially solvent enough to get through this time, but if they aren't, then they're going to start laying people off, and then that's kind of a risk to you there. I kind of fall into the third camp where, I finished my MBA and I started consulting and just stringing together projects. And there were months that were extremely low, and it's extremely volatile in the very beginning, but I'm in year 3 now of completely, working for myself, and I've now got my own agency, and I've kind of got like a lead system set up. So I'm actually feeling really solid and secure in the income streams, and I've also developed multiple revenue streams. That being said, I think working remote is just awesome, especially in a position like I'm in. If I'm making US dollars and I want to live somewhere like Chiang Mai, Thailand, I can work for, probably 10 hours a month, and that's enough to get me by. So that geo arbitrage, being able to make a bunch of money and then spend it in a place where that money goes extremely far, that just sounds like a dream. I can't travel right now because of COVID. I'm stuck, locked down here in Greensboro, but when things start to open back up, I do plan on starting to, travel quite a bit. This is a bit of a rant. I think that this is some interesting content, though. I've had a lot of you listeners ask me about remote work. So, there you go. Those are my thoughts. This is just kind of rattled off the cuff. Thank you for tuning in. And please subscribe if you want more content related to analytics. See you guys next time.